Hey Cancer, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, June 18th to Sunday, June 24th, 2018. Now, what we've got going on this week is Neptune going retrograde right here on Tuesday. And that for you is going to be in your 9th house of something new and different that you have not done before. Except this time, because it's going retrograde, maybe you've done it before. I think you've been doing something new lately. Perhaps traveling, moving, maybe studying or learning something. Or doing some kind of project that you haven't done before. And I think Neptune retrograde is saying, okay, how can you do this new thing better? In a way that you feel more comfortable with? How can you settle into this thing and feel more at peace with what it is that you've been doing? All right, I think that's going to be a really big focus this week, especially lately and in the coming weeks, is just figuring out how to take something new that you've been doing and to refine it so that you feel better about it on the inside. Okay, so that's what we're starting the week off with. On that same day, Tuesday, and also on Wednesday as well, Venus, while Neptune's going retrograde, is going to conjunct the North Node here in Leo. And that for you is in your 2nd house of money, also of your confidence, and of your gifts and skills and talents. So I think what that's going to help you do is you're reviewing some things that you've been doing lately, some new project, traveling, studying to get more comfortable with it. I think there's going to be a chance here for you too to hopefully make more money in, to be more confident with your life now that things aren't so crazy and chaotic. And to use and bring out more of your gifts and skills and talents. Now that it's less about new, it's a chance for you to start to let your talents take over, to settle in, especially in the 2nd house, to feel more confident and stable with the life that it is that you currently have. All right, so that's what I see happening there. On Wednesday, we then have Mercury here in Cancer, which is in your sign, making a trine over to Jupiter in Scorpio in your 5th house of happiness and of love and romance. So I like it. To be honest, I like all of these things that I've mentioned so far happening this week. What that can bring on Wednesday, I think, is a chance for you to be happier about yourself, about who you are. Be happier with your life. If you're not happy, I think there are conversations with Mercury involved about how you can be happier, how you can find the enjoyment in life. With Mercury also making a trine to Neptune very shortly after it makes this trine to Jupiter, and with Neptune and Jupiter in a trine with each other, I think you're also figuring out how you can do something new that you've been doing better in a way that you really like, to find more enjoyment out of life, to let your heart shine. I think will be very, very important this week. Okay, the 5th house also rules love and romance. It also rules kids and passion projects as well. So I do see around Wednesday and Thursday a chance for you to hopefully start to think in more positive ways, or to make sense of what's going on with you mentally, emotionally, so that you can do some new things in a better way that you've been working on, feel more confident with your life, attract more money to you, use more of your skills, and feel more stable and just more comfortable all around with what's been going on. All right, so that's what I see there. Then on Thursday and Friday, I'm just moving straight throughout the week, we get Mars right here near the South Node and in opposition with Venus. And Mars is going to be in your 8th house of changes, endings and beginnings, and big financial investments. Perhaps we want to make some big changes in life. Perhaps there are some things we want to end or begin as well. Or maybe there's some big financial investments too that we feel we need to make. But I think especially with Venus in the North Node, needing to temper your desire for change, your desire to throw everything to the wind, to turn everything upside down, so that at this time you can really focus on using more of your talents, being more confident, settling into something new that you've been doing in a way that hopefully can help you be happy and to let your heart show. Okay, and it's maybe just a balance of getting that right, the change versus the stability, and really needing, I think, to stop so many changes, or to be patient as you make some changes in your life, so that you can figure out what you really need, and so that you can make changes in a way that you feel much better about. Okay, so we have that. Then on Friday, we have the Sun enter Cancer, which is your sign. Happy birthday, Cancer. And make a sextile over to Uranus, which is in the 11th house of your goals, your dreams, and your hopes for the future. And I think what that can bring around Friday and Saturday are some real insights, perhaps unexpectedly, about about what you want your future to look like, about what inspires you, about the groups of people that you want in your life and that you want to associate with, that I do see being a good thing. I think what's going on, Cancer, is that you're starting to settle into something new, perhaps, that you've been doing, to feel more confident with what's been going on, to feel happier and more comfortable with everything, and now you're starting to see a future for yourself that's better for you, more opportunities open, I think, in a positive way. The problem comes a little bit after that. To me, I think this is the hardest aspect I see of the week. A little bit after that, on Saturday and Sunday, so we're talking the end of this week and into next week, right after the Sun sextiles Uranus, it then makes a square to Chiron. And Chiron's in your 10th house of your career, your reputation, and your social standing. So maybe you'll get all these insights this week about what's going on with you, about how you can feel more comfortable in your life, about what it is that you need. Maybe doors open up, new ideas of the future, but maybe then it's a little bit hard for you to figure out how to take all of these things that you're starting to feel good about, or as you start to deal with some things that are important to you to feel better, maybe it's hard to figure out how to take that and to create the career you want, the life direction, the reputation, as you start to settle into some things that you've been working on, right? So I think that that's perhaps the most challenging aspect of the week, which is going to happen on Saturday and Sunday, but can also bring, I think, a great opportunity to hopefully heal some things, some parts of yourself that you haven't been paying attention to lately, that's going to be very, very important. It's just not getting discouraged if you feel like maybe it's not all going to plan in the way that you want, and to not get discouraged as well if you feel like there are still some big changes in your life that you have yet to make before you can put your life in the direction that you want, have the career, have the reputation that you want. I think it will come together, but it's just right now needing to focus on the other things, on building more of that stability into your life, getting comfortable with everything that's happened before you really can begin to step into a career or a life direction that you feel really is you, resonates with you, really is what you want. It can happen. It just, you first may need to do some of the other things. And I don't think that doing the other things are bad. I think they're necessary. And I think this week, especially towards the beginning of this, middle of this week, you'll feel a lot better, hopefully, if you just take a break from changing your life direction, from doing what you want, to putting your life in a direction that really resonates with you, to focus on some of the other stuff, to let more of your heart show, to adjust your heart so that you can feel the way that you need before moving forward. All right, and then the last thing I want to talk about, and this is probably also a harder thing. It's like the harder things are being saved for Saturday and Sunday of this week. And what's going to happen there is Mercury in your sign is going to come into an opposition with Pluto in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, usually of the one-on-one variety. Okay, it doesn't have to be a marriage partner, but definitely can be, or just someone that you feel close to or beholden to in some way. And I think what's going to come up then on Saturday are maybe some conversations about relationships. The way you think about relationships may change, or just, having some strong, intense, maybe not so pleasant conversations with the other people in your life. I think you're thinking a lot about what you want, especially with the Sun and your sign in a sextile to Uranus. I think towards the end of the week, after you start to feel a little bit comfortable with everything that's gone on lately, I think you start to realize more of what you want, what you need to see a future that you like better, to socialize, to be out and about more. And I think maybe you realize, okay, now that I know what I want, now that I'm starting to feel better, there's this one thing that is missing about where my life is going. There's still some pieces that haven't fallen into place yet. And I think what happens towards the end of the week is that you start to have a little bit more negotiations, especially on Saturday, with your relationships, and say, look, hey, I'm starting to feel much better. These things are happening. I've been reviewing a lot of things that I've been doing lately so that I can be happier, and I'm so close, but there's a few things that aren't right. And that's when I think you start to work it out with relationships. Well, what can we change in relationships? What can I do differently? How can I rearrange things with the people in my life so that you can feel better with Mercury in your sign, with the solar eclipse in Cancer going to be here very soon in a few weeks. I think you're trying to figure out how you can do what you want and need and how you can adjust your relationships to fit that. I think with Mercury in an opposition with Saturn last week in your 7th house, you already had some conversations, made some decisions perhaps with your relationships, but I think there may be a little bit more to uncover this week when it comes to the people in your life, how you work with people, how people work with you, that still needs to change. Maybe it's the decisions of last week that you made still need to sink in. Maybe there's still more that needs to be negotiated and discussed. And I think that's what starts to happen at the end of this week. You're starting to feel much more comfortable, happier with your life, with where it's going, but you realize there are a few things about your life that you want that are not in order, and maybe you start to work with your relationships to negotiate some things some more so that you can start to feel a little bit better with you, with who you are, with what you want before you move forward, and to try to enlist the help of others or work out some of your relationships so that you can do those things. All right, so that's what I've got for you this week, Cancer. Your card is the 10 of Pentacles upright. I actually like this card. This is a card of like building your empire, of stability a lot of times, and of taking all of your resources and sharing them with others. Maybe that's what you're trying to figure out this week, is how you can do you, how you can get everything you need, your own needs taken care of. I think that's going to be super important, and I think once you get your own needs taken care of, then it will be much, much easier for you to share of your time and your resources with other people. And I think that's what this is all about. This week, how can you take care of your empire, build your empire, feel like you are safe and protected in the ways that you need? And I think once you do that, it's going to open up doors for you to be more caring and more giving to others in the way that you want to share of your wealth. And I think that this is a good week to do that, maybe. To complete some of the things that you've been working on lately, or to come into different chapters with those things so that you can then focus your attention elsewhere in a better way on things that you need. All right, so that's what I've got for you this week, Cancer. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you liked it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and I will talk to you later.